you've been sold a lie, a big one. It's plastered on corporate wellness posters everywhere. It's the holy grail of every self-help book. And it's the thing we tell ourselves we're all chasing, the perfectly balanced life. I'm sure you've thought about it. Maybe you've even seen the posters. You know, work on one side, life on the other, held in perfectly motionless equilibrium. What if I told you that chasing this myth, this impossible work-life balance, is the exact thing that is keeping you exhausted, stressed, and feeling like you're failing? Here's the deal. It's impossible to get that set of scales to balance because life is not a set of scales. It is not a math problem to be solved. I like to think of it more like a dance, and I'm not just going to expose the work-life balance lie. I'm going to show you how to master the dance so that you can avoid burnout and actually enjoy life. So if that sounds good to you, give this video a big thumbs up and let's get into it. I want you to know you're not alone. If you're new here, my name's Tanya. I'm an entrepreneur who's been in business for more than 25 years, and I've succumbed to hustle culture to the point of burnout. And let me tell you, it's not pretty. Burnout isn't just a problem for solopreneurs either. The statistics are staggering. New research shows that burnout has reached unprecedented levels, with some reports showing that up to 82% of employees are at risk. And it's even worse for younger generations, where some studies are showing that 81 to 83% of people under the age of 34 already feel burned out. And who can blame them? We're a workforce that's always connected, where the lines between our personal and professional life have become so blurred that they've all but vanished. And the problem isn't that you're not trying hard enough. The problem is you've been given the wrong goal. You're trying to solve an impossible equation. The very idea of work-life balance suggests a static, perfect state that just doesn't exist in the real world. Life is chaotic. It's unpredictable. It's beautiful. It's not a scale either. Instead, it's a series of sprints and recovery jobs, a series of intense focus followed by blissful rest. And once you stop trying to stand perfectly still on that seesaw, you can finally learn how to work with the rhythms of your own life. So let's get rid of the scales and imagine your life instead like a dance floor. On this dance floor, you have your career. You have your family. You have your health, and you have your passions. They're not competing forces. They're your dance partners. And sometimes one takes the lead, and sometimes another. Sometimes the music is a frantic techno beat, and other times it's a slow, graceful waltz. The goal here isn't to give each partner equal time every day. It's to create a beautiful, fluid dance that feels right to you. So instead of thinking of it as balance, I like to think of it as more of an integration. The goal here isn't to give each partner equal time every day. It's to create a balance that feels right to you. Think of it more like an integration. Somewhere along the lines, we were taught that our life needs to fit into this series of neat little boxes. But life isn't little boxes, and it certainly isn't neat. It's about finding what matters most to you, and that's what's most important. And as the seasons of your life change, what matters most to you is going to change as well. Going back to our dance analogy, every dance starts with great choreography. And for that choreography, you have to know the steps. Your steps are your particular set of non-negotiable values, not the ones your boss sets for you or the ones you think should be your priorities, but the ones that are actually authentically yours. Figuring this out is the key to creating a life that actually feels good to live. So how do we figure those out? Okay, I want you to grab a piece of paper and I want you to draw 4 boxes. And I want you to label those boxes work, self, relationships, and life logistics. At the end of every day, I want you to write down what you did that fell into each of these categories. No judgment, just observe, just write it down. And no sugarcoating it either, because you're gonna be tempted to do so. At the end of the week, I want you to then look at what you wrote in these boxes. Does it represent a true picture of what you value in life, or is it more of what you felt obligated to do? Did you find that work bled into all of these categories, leaving very little time for self, like health, hobbies, relaxation? Or maybe you found that you only ever wrote anything in the work and life logistics category. That's okay. No judgment. This is not about guilt, because this is what we're going to do. We're going to take this piece of paper and we're gonna throw it away. I want you to write what you want them to look like instead of what they actually look like. These are your true non-negotiables. And it's gonna differ for everyone. What are your non-negotiables? Is it being present every night for your child's bedtime? Is it carving out 30 minutes a day to read or go for a walk? Is it making time to have coffee with a friend? Or is it taking your weekends and making them sacred, where no work is going to blur into those weekends at all? These are your non-negotiables and they're unique to you. These are what matter most. And this is not about making a rigid schedule to schedule these in. It's about making a pact with yourself so that when life gets hectic, you prioritize the things on your list. And the clarity you're going to get from this page is the biggest step you're going to take in leading your own life instead of letting life lead you. Once you've determined what matters most, you need to make a defined space for those things. And this is where boundaries come in. Now, setting boundaries is not building walls. Instead, think about it as making room on your dance floor so that you don't crash into everything when you're doing your choreography. In our always on culture, boundaries are the one thing that are going to help keep work from taking over your entire life. Now, when it comes to boundaries, there are 3 that you most likely need to set right now, the first of which are physical boundaries. Now, this is especially true if you're a solopreneur like me or you work from home. Hey, let's stop eating that. Having a dedicated workspace helps your brain switch back and forth between work mode and life mode, and it's really a non-negotiable. Being able to know when you are working versus when you are living your life is crucial if you want to be successful in a work from home situation without work taking over your entire life. So stop working from your couch or your bed. That just blurs the line between work and home, and it doesn't tell us when we're on and when we're off. Once upon a time, the daily commute did this for us. We left our home and we drove to work to go into work mode. And then we drove home to go into life mode. But in today's work from home climate, which can be great, that separation just isn't there. Now, I know what you're saying, but Tanya, I live in a big city and I'm in a tiny studio apartment. I only have one room. That's okay. Set up a designated work zone in that room, even if it's just a small desk. And at the end of your workday, close it up, close the computer, stack things in a certain way to tell your brain you are no longer in work mode and life is about to resume. The second kind of boundary I want you to set are temporal boundaries. These are boundaries around your time. I want you to stick to them. Let the people at the office know. Put them in your email signature line. More importantly, let your family know. These are my work hours and these are my home hours, and they need to remain separated. This isn't being difficult. This is being clear. Flexible work is amazing, but you cannot let work take over all of your time. It will only lead to burnout. You also need to take your personal time, like hobbies, family time, time for rest, and make them non-negotiables on your calendar. Block out time slots for things like lunch, going for a walk, or just doing nothing. Remember, rest is productive and it's going to make you a more productive worker. Third is digital boundaries. Now, I want you to listen to me carefully. Your phone is not your boss. Not this phone, well, you get the point. Turn off your notifications during non-work hours. As a matter of fact, put your work phone in another room if you have a separate phone for work. And create a personal rule about not checking or replying to non-urgent emails outside of those designated work hours. This gives your brain the mental energy it truly needs to be able to re-energize and come back the next day ready to go. Your life, like your waistline, rarely stays the same from start to finish. So don't try to fit into those pants you wore in high school, and instead accept that you're going to go through seasons. Some seasons are going to be heavy, like a product launch, final exams, or an intense deadline. But here's the part everyone forgets. You need to balance out that season with a period of rest and recovery. After the big project is launched, you have to intentionally schedule a slower time period. This could be anything from a few days off to just saying no to any new major commitments. This is about managing your energy, not just your time. Burnout happens when a season of intensity becomes your entire life. The final step is to unlearn that work and life are enemies locked in a constant battle for your time. Instead, they are partners on that dance floor. Sometimes you'll give one partner a little more time and sometimes the other. They're partners on that dance floor we call life. And while the modern workplace can sometimes blur those lines, it can also make your personal dance better than ever. Remember, it's what matters to you. Maybe it's a hybrid schedule that allows you to work from home and be able to take your dog for a walk in the middle of the day. Simply spending time with your dog makes you happy and gives you more energy, and in turn makes you a better worker. Because when it comes down to it, integrating work and life is not about slacking off in the work department. It's about bringing your whole self to your work and your whole self to your life at the appropriate time. So sit down and have an honest conversation about workload and stress with your manager, or if you're a solopreneur like me, chat it out with a friend. But by all means, stop trying to balance those mythical scales and start living life on your own terms. I want you to let me know, what is one thing you're working on right now? What do you want to prioritize in your life? And if you like this video, I know you're gonna like this one too. So until next time, peace out.